Hey everyone, Gnovat here. So last week I was deciding whether I put Chamber and Escape in my deck, and I was actually going through the combos, and it's just a one card change, but it actually does a lot to how you play your combos. So as I figured out some combos, found them online, they are kind of scattered online on YouTube. There are some content creators that do really good work, but a lot of work is in different places, different videos. So I thought I'd just gather all the things I find relevant, and might as well put them all in this video. So today I wanted to show you some one card combos, two card combos, and we'll compare Chamber and Escape, how they deviate, and then at the end I will show you how you can actually play through Droll and Ash if you play the combo a bit differently than what you see online a lot. So I will timestamp everything because it's going to be a lot of combos. So if you want, save this video so you can come back to it at any time. But let's hop into the first combo. Alright, let's start with the Throne combos, because Throne provides you with so many resources from the start that it's the easiest one to pilot. And we're going to start with the Throne combo and in the Chamber version. So you're playing Chamber. It's the easiest to execute, so let's just go. We go activate Nightmare Throne, add some Sarodi Lotus, some Lotus effect, special Spirit of Yubel, which will set you Nightmare Pain. So you then activate, pop the Spirit of Yubel to add Grave Squirmer. Now Spirit and Throne will trigger, summon both of the Yubels, and this is summon number 4. So as summon number 5, you will make Yama. Now the nice thing about this is from now on, if they nib you still get the Yama search, and you have enough material for Phantom, so you can summon Phantom, and then you have the condition for Grave Squirmer, and then you just go from there easily. So in this case, we just say we don't get nibbed, we get the Sharvara, and before you do anything else, you will shuffle these two back to make Phantom of Yubel. So now you're protected from further Handtraps if they didn't Handtrap you until now, but it's a one card combo. So you're gonna activate Grave Squirmer, summon it, and then you link Yama and Grave Squirmer away to go into Cross Sheet. This is like link raiding. You're link climbing down, but you wanna get the Yama engrave and you wanna get the Squirmer engrave, and the Cross Sheet will pay for itself anyway. So you're gonna activate the Squirmer, bring back the Spirit of Yubel in this zone, which will then trigger the Cross Sheep and get you your Samsara the Lotus back. So now you can go Sharvara, pop the Yubel, and now because of space issues you want to put it here, and then you pop the Spirit of Yubel, you trigger Spirit of Yubel, you trigger Yama, which will make Yama bring back the Spirit of Yubel, and the Spirit of Yubel will bring back your OG Yubel. Now you see why we positioned it in this way, right? Because this is the only link error we have left. We want to go and link these two off into Rage, which will then trigger Shavara, get you the Chamber. You can link these two off into Appaloosa, and lastly you're going to overlay the two Yubels for Varudras. So you're ending on 2 Mad Appaloosa, you're ending on Phantom of Yubel, and you're ending on an Omni, plus you have the Chamber to bring back Rage for first you use Rage effect to remove something, then you go into SP which banishes something, then you still have SP to banish on and Shane if your opponent activates an effect. So yeah, you have 2 disrupts here, one here, one here, one here, and 3 here. Although I don't like counting interrupts, but you see how you have a layered and diversified endboard. So let's check the Throne combo if you are playing Escape instead. Okay, now let's play the same combo hand, but now we are playing Escape. So we're gonna deviate a bit. The start will be the same, but at some point we're gonna branch off. So let's hop right in. So we go Nightmare Throne, add some Samsara Tribute, Spirit of Yubel, Nightmare Pain, pop, add the Squirmer, summon the 2 bodies, link these 2 off into Yama. Yama will add Sharvara, and you will fusion these 2 for Phantom and summon Squirmer. So far, so samey. Now, in this combo, what you're going to do is you're not going into cross sheep, but instead make a second Yama. Now, you could actually skip the effect of the first Yama and activate the effect here, where you have the Phantom of Yubel. Now, the reason why I just added in the first place is because there is no real hand trap that you wouldn't have done before, like on Samsara the Lotus and Spirit of Yubel. And I would add on the second Yama if you did a line like a 2-card combo or 3-card combo where you pop with Throne instead of searching, and you're going to go into Yama Phantom in a different kind of way before you add anything. Then I would probably skip the first Yama and add on the second one, because then you're protected by Droll, which is like the big difference where you could get hand trapped. Otherwise, I would just do it on the first Yama. So now we're gonna use the Squirmer to revive Spirit of Yubel and use Shalvara to pop the Spirit of Yubel, which will trigger both the Spirit of Yubel and the Yama. Yama will bring back Spirit, and Spirit will summon out our OG Yubel. Now what you're doing is you're gonna link off Yama and Shalvara, go into Rage, Shalvara triggers, sets you the escape, and then you go into Varudras. So why would you do this combo instead of the chamber combo where you end on Appaloosa? You're basically trading the, if you look at the interactions themselves, what you're trading is you're trading the Appaloosa for the escape. Now, is that a good trade? A pop versus 2 monster negates. Now, this is like, if you count the interactions themselves, then obviously 2 is more than 1. But here, what you have is like you have a more layered approach. It's better against board breakers, whereas Appo isn't. So, at any point, you can just escape of the Unchained, pop your Rage, pop any cards of theirs, and then you will trigger the Yama, bringing back the Rage. Now, this would help you, for example, when you get Dark Ruler, then these cards are not usable. You still end on, after Dark Ruler, end on the pop and the Rage, whereas in the other combo, after Dark Ruler, you just end on the Rage. Another thing is, against Evenly, what's really cool is, if you get Evenly, you can go escape, pop your Rage, pop your Phantom of Yubel, and the rest of the board goes away, except for the Throne. And then on resolution, you will trigger the Yama, bringing back the Rage, but you'll also trigger the Nightmare Throne, which, because Phantom of Yubel is a 9 and it got destroyed, you can special summon a level 10 Yubel. And that would be Spirit of Yubel, which then would trigger and give you follow-up due to the search effect. So it's a bit more resilient than you're trading like the 2 monster negates versus a pop, which, for example, against Tenpai, this card is by far stronger than Appaloosa. What I like to do against Tenpai is, if they activate the field spell, I let them play, let them add Hydra and their extender, and then once they have Hydra, another monster, and the Throne and their field spell, I'm gonna go escape, pop the Rage and the field spell, bring Rage back, and now their board is no longer protected, and the Rage can link off with the special summoned monster, go into SP, and banish the Hydra, and now with just the escape and the Rage, you've taken out 3 of their resources. Alright, so you probably have seen a lot of Throne combos on YouTube, so a lot of videos that actually don't cover Lotus enough, so I thought I was just like gonna show you the combos I do with Lotus. So if you don't already have Lotus and you play the chamber version, this is how I play it. You go normal summon Lotus, special Spirit, set the pain, pop, add Squirmer, special Yubel. Now you don't get the stage 2 of Yubel because you don't have the Throne, so you're just gonna special summon the Squirmer. Now you could on summon with the Squirmer pop the Yubel to get the other Yubel, which would give you more fodder for Phantom in the grave, but for this combo the extra fodder is not needed, and if you count the summons, that would be your 5th summon, the Yubel, and your opponent would be able to nib you before you get into Yama, which at this point of the combo you will end up with just the Spirit of Yubel and the Phantom. You'd have to go into Yama from there. You still end on something, but I'd rather do it like this. So you link these two into Yama, and Yama adds you the Shavara. So now, even if your opponent nibs you, you can Squirmer, Revive Spirit, pop it with Shavara. You can use the token to go into Cross Sheep, which gets you another revive. So you're pretty much fine at that point. So from now on, you can go Yubel and the Samsara Lotus, shuffle them back for Phantom. So now you can be protected, and you can banish Gruesome Grave Squirmer, summon Spirit of Yubel, activate Shavara effect to pop, summon it. Spirit of Yubel will summon the OG, and you just link these two off into Rage, which Shavara will then set you the chamber, and you link these two off into Appaloosa. So you end on the two Appaloosa negates, you end on the Phantom of Yubel, and you still have the Yama Grave, and you have the chamber to get back the Rage. So let's see how this combo would look with Escape. Okay, Samsara combo with Escape. This is where things get a bit more interesting. The start will obviously be the same as always, but we're going to deviate real quick from it. So start off by summoning Lotus into Spirit, get the Pain, pop, get Squirmer, summon Yubel. Now this is the same as before. Now is where we already start to deviate. We're going to summon the Squirmer, and we're going to use the effect to pop the Yubel. Now I talked before how this will make you nibbable here. And I can talk about what happens if you get nipped here, what you can still end on. But let's just play the combo through. So this is actually not the best spot to nib yet, because we're not going into Yama. We're going into Cross Sheep. So this would be the best spot to nib, because other than after this, you're just gonna use these two to make your Phantom, triggering Cross Sheep and bringing back Lotus. Now, what you're going to do here is a bit unconventional. You're going to link these two off, go into Yama, and Yama adds you the Shavara. Now, this will still open you up to nib again, but now you have even more resources. So if they didn't nib you before, now you can already go Squirmer, get back Spirit of Yubel, pop it with Shavara, and you have way more resources than before. But what we do here is we just now we link these two off into Appaloosa, and now we don't have to worry about nib anymore. What we do now is we're gonna Gruesome Grave Squirmer, get back Spirit of Yubel, use Shavara to pop it, summon it, Spirit summons out your OG, and you're linking these two off into the Rage, which will then Shavara set you the Escape. And now you can go and make your second Phantom. Now, you can choose what to shuffle back. You definitely shuffle back the OG. Now, the question is of the other cards, what are you going to shuffle back? Now, note that if you pop Rage with Escape, you can add back a Fiend from the grave. I didn't mention that before. So what you can do is either you recycle your Phantom, because you used two in this combo, or you're gonna use two, or you can add back one of these two. The nice thing about adding back Spirit of Yubel is you can use it as battle protection too, and you can, if you summon it in the opponent's turn, you also get follow up with another Nightmare Pain. So let's say we keep this engrave, we shuffle these two back, and I'm gonna summon the Phantom of Yubel, number 2. So you're adding on 2 meta Apple, you're ending on the Rage, and on the Escape, and you end on Phantom, and we obviously have the Yama set up in Grave to bring back the Rage after we popped it. Now, if they nib us, let's rewind it a bit, on the Cross Sheep. So our board state is like this. We have these two in Grave. We have some Yubel material still in Grave. Where is the... We don't have these yet. There's the Nightmare, the Terra Incarnate. Okay, so if they nib us here, what we can do is we can still shuffle back 2 Yubels, go into a Phantom, then you use Squirmer, bring back anything really, like just a Fiend body, go into Yama from here, adding you Sharvara. Sharvara then summons by popping the Yama, just so you get it on the field, and then you can link these two off into Rage. Still get your chamber, and you still have the Yama in grave. And if you look in your grave, you still have 2 materials to make your other Phantom. So, not too shabby for a 1-card combo into Nib. You still have the Rage, you have this, you have this. The Nib basically just took out the Appaloosa. Okay, let's start off with 2-card combos now. So we have Dark Beckoning Beast and Samsara Lotus. And this is the chamber version, so you're gonna go Dark Beckoning Beast, add your opening, second normal summon, go Lotus, Special Spirit, get the Nightmare Pain, pop the Spirit, add Squirmer, summon Yubel, and then you're gonna use these two for Yama, which will add your Shalvara. Now you can go ahead and you fuse these two from the graveyard. Make sure that if you can, shuffle back the Dark Beckoning Beast, because the add off of opening of the Spirit Gates is mandatory. So if you don't have Beckoning Beasts in your deck, you cannot activate this card. So it makes sense to shuffle back your Dark Beckoning Beasts so you keep this card alive. So we're gonna shuffle these two back. This is very similar to just the Throne combo, basically. We also like get the extra body, but this time it is through the Beckoning Beast, plus we don't have to use the Yama here because we have another revive. So special the Squirmer, and I'm gonna use the Spirit Gates to add another Beckoning Beast, discard it, get the Spirit of Yubel, Shavara, pop the Spirit, which will trigger the Spirit to get you the normal Yubel, link these two off into Rage, which will then set you the Chamber, link these two off into Appaloosa, and you banish your Squirmer for Spirit of Yubel and overlay these two into Varudras. So you're ending on the same board that you did with the Throne combo, but this time you still have the Yama in grave. Now, it is noteworthy that you basically are missing out on the body through the Yama, and you're missing out on the extra body with a second Phantom of Yubel that you could make. So theoretically, if you wanted to, you could have 2 more bodies, but with the chamber version, unless you're playing Promethean Princess, but you need like 3 bodies for that, you have a harder time making use of the bodies. That'll obviously change once we get Fiendsmith, but this is pre-Fiendsmith. So let's see how the chamber version, the escape version, does make use of the extra bodies. Alright, chamber version. Beckoning Beast is gonna get summoned, adding you Spirit Gates, normal summon Lotus, special summon Spirit of Yubel, Nightmare Pain, pop, add Squirmer, summon Yubel. Now, just like before, what you're going to do now for the extra material is you're going to summon the Squirmer, pop the Yubel, summoning out Terra Incarnate. Now, this should be summon number 5 here, so they can wait for summon number 6 and nib you here, but you can play around that and we can do that later. But for now, before you go into any link, that's important because we're going to make cross GP, and if they nib you then you cannot actually play through nib anymore. But we have set up our graveyard nicely, so we can actually, before we even commit to the cross sheep, make the Phantom of Yubel. Now, you can proceed and link these two off. It's important that you put these two in the grave. Going to cross sheep, and you're gonna activate opening the Spirit Gates, add another Beckoning Beast, which you can then just discard for the Spirit of Yubel. And it is important that you actually have the correct positioning here, because what we do now is we can use the other Beckoning Beast and the Terra Incarnate to make our other Phantom of Yubel, which leaves the last Beckoning Beast in the grave to be summoned by Cross Sheep. Important that we do it like this. So now you can link these two off into Yama, which will add you Sharvara, and you can make your Apo here. Then you can go Sharvara, pop the Spirit of Yubel, which then summons you the OG Yubel. And one Phantom of Yubel and the Sharvara are going to become the Rage, which then Sharvara sets you the Escape. And you still have one resource left, and that is the Gravestormer, which gets you back the Spirit of Yubel. And you overlay these two for Varudras. Now, if you compare this to the other boards, for example, the Throne combo, now we actually, in addition to what we have through the Throne combo, we get the Appaloosa in addition to all of that as well, compared to the Chamber version. You have to jump through some hoops and you have to sequence it very precisely, because otherwise you're going to lose to Nib. But this is the strongest end board that my version of the deck can do. Let's just rewind a bit to go to the place where we could have gotten nibbed. So let's just put all of these back. We had this in hand, we had the Nightmare Pain on the field, this was in deck. We have the Squirmer on the field, the Beckoning Beast, the Tarot Incarnate, we have a Lotus engrave, we have the Spirit engrave, and we have the Yubel engrave. This should be all of it. Lotus into this, into... So, if you get nipped here, you just put all of these away. Get the Spirit, not the Spirit, you activate the Spirit gates, get you your other Beckoning Beast, which you can then discard to summon anything really. And you can link these two off into Cross Sheep. And then you can make the Phantom of Yubel by using a Beckoning Beast and the Terror Incarnate, which will then trigger the Cross Sheep, bringing you back the Samsara the Lotus. And you can make another Phantom of Yubel with these two, because you want to preserve the Squirmer. So, second Phantom of Yubel, which are going to become Yama. And you can probably see where this is going. You add the Sharvara, you can link these two off into Apple. You go banish the Gruesome, get the Spirit, Sharvara, pop the Spirit. Spirit summons the OG. You make Rage here. And you're gonna set your Escape and have the Yama engrave, and pretty much the Nib took out the Varudras. So this is the 2-card combo when you're playing Escape. Alright, for the last combo, this will not be a comparison of Chamber and Escape, but rather it's supposed to show you how you can sequence your combos differently to play into Handtraps better. So as an example, I have Nightmare, Throne, and Lotus. This also works with Throne and Beckoning Beast. It's just one important thing that you can do here to play around some Handtraps better. So let's do the standard line that you see a lot, and then I'll show you the other line after that. And I also mention like where you can get Handtrapped, obviously. So usually like what you see is activate Nightmare Throne. This can get ashed. This is indifferent in both of the combos. If you get ashed here, you still have the Lotus and can play from there. But let's say you don't, you get the Dark Beckoning Beast, normal summon it, activate the effect. Now if they Veiler you here, and the rest of the hand is Handtraps, then you have to pass your turn, right? Because then you don't get your second normal summon. So let's keep that in mind, Veiler Imperm. Let's just say this goes through, and we get the Spirit Gates, we use our second normal summon, Lotus, effect, and now if they ash you, once again, your turn basically is over, because what you can do is you could go Spirit Gates, revive, go into Yama, but you lack a body to make anything significant after that. So keep ash in mind as well. And then you get Spirit of Yubel, which will get you the Nightmare Pain, and you just go from here, add the Squirmer, summon the 2 bodies. Now you can get nipped here, but you can still, like, you still have the Spirit Gates, you have the Squirmer, you have a token which you can make into Cross Sheep, and you can combo. You have from there, you saw that earlier. So nip is fine in this combo. What you're gonna do here is you're gonna link these 2 off into Cross Sheep, and then you're gonna go and fuse these 2 for your Phantom, which will trigger Cross Sheep, bring back the Lotus, link these 2 off into Yama, which will add you Sharvara, and you can go ahead and simply link these 2 away for Apple. From here on out, it's pretty smooth sailing, but the beginning of the combo is what's important here. So next up you go Spirit Gates, which will add you the Dark Beckoning Beast. Use that to get back your Spirit of Yubel. Use the Shavara to pop the Spirit of Yubel, which will trigger it to get back your Yubel on the field. Let's put this here. You can summon the Squirmer. Link these 2 off into Rage. Rage will set you the escape, and then you use the Squirmer to go Spirit of Yubel, overlay into Varudra. So full board off of these 2 cards, but 2-card combo should always be full combo in this deck. But you saw in the beginning when I mentioned the hand traps what your opponent can do. So let's sequence this a little bit differently and see how we end up. Same combo, different sequencing. Let's see how we get here. So again, we are going to start off by activating Nightmare Throne. This can get ashed again, and we can then just Lotus combo from here. Plus, if they ash this and we have Lotus combo, we still get the extra body off of Nightmare Throne. So if they ash you here and you have Lotus in hand, you basically end up with the standard Throne combo, basically. So let's just not get ashed here, and we are going to pop the Spirit of Yubel from the deck. We're not going to add anything, we're going to pop, because this way you get an extra body on board, which the Beckoning Beast would do too, but you also get more Yubel names, and you are more protected against Handtraps, you'll see in a second. So they could ash this, but if they didn't ash Throne before, then you just get a free Yubel name engrave to fuse with. So we're going to get the OG Yubel, and you normal summon the Lotus. Now, again, you could now go Lotus, but then once again you're going to lose against Ash Blossom, because you could go into Phantom with this, go into Yama, but then you just end up on Yama and that doesn't do anything. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to link these 2 off and go into Cross Sheep. Now, this is still summon number 4, and what you can do now is you're going to fuse the 2 Yubels in the grave to go into Phantom, which will trigger the Cross Sheep and bring back the Samsara D Lotus. Note that if they have Imperm, they can chain it to the Cross Sheep. If they have Valor, they can Valor the Cross Sheep before you bring out the Phantom. But the cool thing about it is, even if this is negated, you can then turn these 2 into a Muckraker, and that way get the Samsara D Lotus back. You'll be Fiend locked after that, but you can still put up a significant board. The Chamber version can actually even Griffin lock after you get Impermed on the Cross Sheep here, and so you end up on Griffin plus Chamber to get Rage plus Phantom of Yubel, so pretty strong end board. Anyway, we get the Samsara D Lotus back off of Cross Sheep effect, and then we can use it actually, because now if they ash you, you have the Phantom of Yubel. And from this point on, it's pretty straightforward. Summon the Spirit of Yubel, get the Nightmare Pain, pop the Spirit of Yubel, add a Squirmer, which will then summon out Terror Incarnate and the OG Yubel. And then you can turn these 2 into a Yama, adding you a Sharvara. And what you do now is you summon the Grave Squirmer and you link these into another Yama. We need that to go into our Varudras. We're going to use Cross Sheep and the second Yama to go into Appaloosa. And now we're going to go Grave Squirmer, bring back Spirit of Yubel, Shalvara pop the Spirit, which will trigger both Yama and Spirit of Yubel. So you get these two back. Let's put this here, it's important. And lastly, what you do is you're gonna fuse these two because we need one more link material. So we have one Lotus and one Terra Incarnate left in your graveyard. And you will have to use these to go into your second Phantom. Link these two off into Rage, setting you the escape and going into Varudras. So this pretty much the same end board, but you used an extra Phantom of Yubel and you banished the Yama. But all in all, you play better through Handtraps. The second Phantom of Yubel you can recycle if you pop the Rage with Escape, or if you negate with the Varudras, detach this, you can resummon the Spirit of Yubel. And also, because you have the Nightmare Throne, as soon as you pop a level 10 Yubel, you can also Nightmare Throne recycle a Phantom of Yubel. So you pay much more upfront, but you play better into Handtraps, and you also have the same board. What I forgot to mention is at the beginning, the way you play this, you also play around draw, because you're not adding any card until Phantom of Yubel is on board, whereas the other combo, you immediately with Nightmare Pain, you get rolled and you end up on Beckoning Beast, normal summon, and then you normal summon the Lotus, which will then go into Spirit of Yubel, and then you cannot activate the Nightmare Pain and just have to go into Yama, and that doesn't get you anywhere. So I talked about how when you get impermed on the Cross Sheep here, you can still go and make a Griffin lock. So if you play the Chamber version, you can also Griffin lock with the other version, but then you don't get to end on the Rage, which is not that great. I'd like to end on the Rage plus whatever trap I have somehow. So the Escape version I think ends on the Rage, the Phantom, and you have the normal Yubel with the Samsara Lotus instead. So this would be an advantage of the Chamber version, so let's show you how we do it. So we trigger Cross Sheep off of summoning Phantom of Yubel here, and your opponent responds with an Impermanence. So what you do here is you link these two off into Muckracker, which will then discard a card, bring back the Samsara Lotus, tribute itself, summon Spirit of Yubel, which sets from your deck Nightmare Pain. You then pop the Spirit of Yubel, add the Squirmer, and then you trigger Spirit of Yubel and the Nightmare Throne. So you get these two out, and what you do here is you're gonna link these into Yama, adding you the Sharvara, and then you special summon the Squirmer. Squirmer and Yama go into... Oh wait, before you do that, you can actually use the two Yubels in the grave that you just linked off to make Phantom. Make sure to put it here. Either of these zones. The Phantom of Yubel has to be in a zone adjacent to the Muckracker, but under it. So one of these arrows, basically. And now that you're protected, you can go Squirmer, link these two into Rage, banish Squirmer, summon Spirit, activate Shavara to pop the Spirit. Spirit will trigger, get you your OG Yubel, and you can link all of these into Nightmare Griffin, which will then trigger the Sharvara. If you have any, you don't have any spell in grave right now, but if you have any spell trap in grave, for example, you discard it off Muckracker, you can use the effect of Nightmare Griffin, discard whatever you have, reset the card that you discarded, and you just get a free draw off of it. Just noting that. But the Sharvara will then set you the Chamber. And now what you have is the Phantom of Yubel, you have the Griffin, And you can also, in your opponent's turn, go Chamber, Resurrect, Rage, link something off. Just make sure to always be in the adjacent zones of the Nightmare Griffin, because otherwise your monsters would be negated. So this is what I would do if I get impermed on the Cross Sheep, if I do the Nightmare Throne combo. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. Let me know how you liked the combos. Was anything that I did not optimal? Do you have better combos? If you want, link them down in the comments. I will take a look at them and might talk about it in the comments, pin something. Anyway, see you next time.